Hello. Hello everyone. Welcome to Intellipaat live webinar on how to become a software engineer in 2022. Today's webinar will be conducted by Mr. Praveen. He has more than 10 years of experience in data and related fields. He has worked with multiple startups and multinational companies. He has worked with many international clients, including Fortune 500 companies in his professional experience. So let's welcome Mr. Praveen into the session. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. So we will get started in a minute. So basically, let us wait for others to join. So while we wait, I will tell you about what all the things that we'll be covering today, and also how exactly we are going to take up the course. So we will be discussing that. So if you can see, today what is the major thing that we will understand is we will see what exactly a software engineer does, or who is a software engineer, and then we will also see why someone should take up software engineering, and then we will also see how exactly uh, the trends are, what are the skills that you need for you to become a software engineer. So those kind of things that we are going to focus today. And once we are done with those things, we will talk about the companies that are hiring software engineers, what are the roles and responsibilities, the major ones, if someone is planning to enter into this domain. So majorly these things we will discuss, and also we will see how exactly the path for you to take up this particular journey, and then how all of you can enter into this software engineering field, right? So starting with, who is a software engineer, right? So what exactly a software engineer does, basically what is his roles? Like, you might have heard, like, being a software engineer is a very good profession, and also it is very highly well paid, and also you'll be getting a lot of technological opportunities. So multiple things are there in software engineering. Who is a software engineer, and how can someone become software engineer? All of that are a discussion of the current trend. So if you understand who exactly is a software engineer, so basically let me just tell you here itself. These days, technology is improving very much, right? So the trends are increasing in technology. People are moving towards more and more technology driven life. So when I say technology driven life, what I mean to say is people are actually using technology more than anything. It can be your cell phones, it can be your laptops, etc., etc. So basically, whenever we look at that particular technology, uh, you can probably say, just give me a second, just give me 1 second. Okay, no problem. So let me just put it onto the full screen mode, and then let me explain it to you. Yeah, so you can see here, whenever you are looking at technology driven life, you are using multiple technology products. It can be your laptop, cell phone, it can be your mobile phone, whatever it is. But if you can see, everything runs on software. So your laptop, cell phone, everything, whatever you basically use, your websites, everything, shopping is being done technologically. You book a doctor's appointment technologically. Learning is happening, e-learning, that is technology. So everything is software driven. So now when I say everything is software driven, there has to be people to write, debug, and maintain such software. Any person who tries to write, debug, and maintain that software is called as a software engineer. So that is the basic definition of a software engineer, right? So usually what happens, some people start studying software engineering in the beginning of their uh, education, right? So in their undergraduation times, people try to uh, use their study where people learn the software engineering part, and then people also now. Hello, am I audible? Yeah. Okay. So sorry, I think there was a technology error. So as we were speaking about technology, right? You don't know the person who has written the software. Maybe there is a bug. My audio dropped. You're able to see my screen, but my audio dropped. So that is where the role of QA comes in. So you can see here there is something called as a testing engineer, right? So performing debugging testing. So that's also role of a software engineer. So softwares, why software engineering will always be in demand is because there is a constant requirement for developing new software. And as you saw now, my audio dropped. Softwares can fail anytime, they can have a problem. So you need people to maintain them, test them whether they're working fine or not. So that is why software development is an evergreen field, right? So why people take up software engineering? So there are so many other fields, but why do people take up software engineering? Is because technology is something that will help to solve the world's problems, right? So as I told you, software is always there, and it will be there. There needs to be some maintenance that needs to be done, there needs to be some testing that needs to be done. So that is the reason why people usually take up software engineering, and then they start their career as software engineers. So having said that, let us go ahead and then see um, some basic things that are happening in software engineering. So refrigerator can notify people, uh, right? So automatic lighting, television can suggest you what shows. So all these things are software engineering. Apart from that, you have new phones, new technology. Now even cars are able to listen to you. When you say a command, your car will respond because of the software which is present in that. Right? So as I told you, softwares are always there. And one more very important thing, why should someone become a software engineer is because of the high salary. So you can see everyone work to earn more. Software engineers get paid somewhere around 5 to 6 lakhs on an average, a beginner. And anyone with 5 to 8 years experience will get paid around 15 lakhs per year. So that's a average kind of a salary that is there. And now you can see one of the important thing is there is a work from home possibility. Why am I saying there is a work from home possibility is because no other profession will give you a work from home possibility like software engineering, because it is not compulsory for you to come to the company or maybe some place and work. If you take up any government job or maybe if you take up any kind of private job where you are not in a development, let's say you are in an admin field, HR, etc., etc. So it is compulsory for you to come to the office and attend. So now in COVID and also post COVID, many companies are giving work from home options to their professionals. So basically telling you that being a software engineer also gives you a flexibility to work from home. So that is one of the advantage along with the high salary. Now, this is another perk. No need to have fixed timing, flexible attire, etc., etc. So these are some minor things that are there. But major thing is a salary, flexibility in time. You can have some work-life balance, and also the work from home options that are available for software engineers, which are not available for anyone. Now, having said all these things, why should someone become a software engineer? So, what are the skills that someone needs to become a software engineer is what we will talk. You can see here to become a software engineer, someone should have a bachelor's degree, right? So, if someone doesn't have a bachelor degree, then it's going to be a problem. So, because the basic requirement is having a bachelor degree and someone who can code. So if you are having a bachelor's degree and also if you can code, you can become a software engineer. If you cannot code, then also you can become a software engineer, but your domain will be a little different. You can become a quality analyst. You can do the debug. I mean, you can identify the bugs in the code. You can report them. So you can become a quality analyst, part of software engineer, which doesn't require much of coding. Coding will be little minimum. Having said this, even if you don't know coding, coding can be learned irrespective of you are from a technical degree or a non-technical background. Coding can be learned. So that is where we are trying to tell you that to pursue software engineering as a profession, it is compulsory that you have a degree, but it is not compulsory that you should know coding, because coding can be learned. Coding can be learned by anyone. So now, what are the skills that you might have to acquire is what we will see, right? So when I talk about skills, there are so many programming languages around, right? Let me tell you, in all these programming languages, the major one is Python, right? So why Python? Because Python is one of the widely used programming language, and also the people who are using Python, the technology that is using Python are very much high. And having said that, C, C++, Java, etc., etc. So all of that are also programming languages which can be used, which can be learned. There are a lot of job opportunities for developers, right? I would suggest you something at this point in time. So to become a very good developer, you should know at least 3 to 4 programming languages simultaneously. Having said that, it is not compulsory that you learn or probably know all of them in the beginning itself. So if you are a beginner, if you are planning to become a software engineer, I would suggest you take up one programming language which is easy to learn. So out of the lot, Java, C++, Python, all of them, Python is easy to learn. So you can start by learning Python. So once you start learning Python, you will understand how exactly coding works. You understand how exactly things work basically in software development. Once you understand all of them, you can later pick up, let's say, JavaScript, or let's say you can maybe, if you learn Python, you can become a Python developer, or you can also become a quality analyst, Python automation. So multiple streams will open for you when you start with programming. So once you learn Python, you can learn Java, you can learn JavaScript, HTML, etc., etc., so that you know 3 to 4 languages, and then you become a good software developer, right? So now, once you learn programming languages, what is it that you need to know, right? So you can see there is a website called HackerRank. So it provides learning kind of a simulation for you, right? So I won't say like you get a exercise or something like that, but you get something like a simulation, right? So a range of development things are available in HackerRank. You can refer to that. And having said this, Stack Overflow is there. So what is Stack Overflow? So basically, Stack Overflow is a platform for developers. So what do you mean by platform for developers? If someone doesn't know any question, or probably if he's facing some problem in software development, he can go ahead and then post it in Stack Overflow. So once he posts it in Stack Overflow, there will be fellow developers from all over the world, and then they'll be able to answer them, and you can basically go ahead and then you can basically uh, get the answers for your questions, and then you can implement them. So it is like a group of developers which are online. And also the important thing that you need to know is, whenever you go to programming, as I said, in this slide just talks about what concepts you should understand in the beginning, but I can suggest you can just go ahead, start with Python basics, and then step by step problem solving and all that you may have to do. So that is one thing. Now, uh, whenever you go ahead and then learn your skills, there is one thing which is required, which is called as a certification. Irrespective of how good you are, how skilled you are, if you compare yourself with a person with a similar skill with the certification, he will be given more weightage when a person without a certification. Let us say there are 2 people, both of them are equally skilled. One is having a certificate from a premium institute, and one more is not having a certificate from a premium institute. So basically, the person with the certificate will be treated in a edge compared to the person without a certificate. Why? That is because when a person gets a certificate from a premium institute, the people know that he is actually learned something, where the curriculum is designed by professionals. People who design the curriculum, or probably people who deliver the curriculum, people who conducted the training program, are professionals. They know what they are doing, they know subject matter, so they are subject matter experts. Without that, you will not be able to get certified. And one more thing that you need to do is, like, to get a certification, you might have to put some hard work, you might have to study, you might have to answer the questions, you might have to do some assignments, take up some tests, prove yourself to get the certification. which is evident that you are a person who is qualified or who knows things in that domain. So that is something that is required. So certification is a need at this point in time. Having a certificate with the same skills is really, really helpful, right? So that is something that I would suggest you probably here, right? And having said this, so you can see like what are the roles. This is nothing but having hands-on experience and doing open source projects and all this. So why this particular projects is important is because you know coding, you are now certified, but whenever you go and apply for a job or an internship or something, what happens is they will ask you, what is the experience that you have? Have you done some projects? Then if you have some projects in your name, so then it will become very, 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 very useful. So what I would suggest you to do is start learning one programming language. It can be Python to start with because Python is easy to learn. Once you start learning programming languages, try to get a certificate from a premium institute. So basically, any institute that is offering a good certificate will be doing. But here, what happens is when you have a course that is being taken, just ensure that you get it from an IIT or an IIM or maybe some other premium institute so that it will be valued more. That is one thing. And again, open a GitHub account. If you don't know what is GitHub, so GitHub is basically a place where you store your code, whatever development that you have done, whatever projects that you have done. So GitHub is an online repository where you store the code, correct? So that is something you can open a GitHub repository, start practicing. So whatever you practice on a daily basis, store the code in that GitHub repository so that it looks that you are practicing every day. So if your GitHub repository is active, so there is an indicator that will show you that how often you code and how often you use GitHub. So that will become a good indication whether you are a developer or not. So that is point number one. And now the major thing that I would like to tell you is irrespective of what course that you're taking, irrespective of what uh, uh, certificate that you're taking, projects and internship will add a experience value to your profile. So you may have the skill, you may have the certificate, but experience will is something that people look whenever they are hiring. So whenever you get a chance, if you're a fresher, so take up experience or probably take up a internship and then move forward. Or if you are a professional who already working in some company and you want to make a switch, so probably you can show that you have done these many projects, prove that you know the language, and then you can be able to go to the job that you are aspiring for. So having said this, what are the roles and responsibilities? As we already told you, designing softwares, right? So understanding the problems, solving those problems, writing the code, maintaining the code, testing the code. So these are the main roles or probably the responsibilities of a software engineer, right? So that is something which I want to tell you. Now let us say for example, this is again, right? So some of the JDs that you can see, this is by Dell Technologies. Hands-on experience in programming. So as I told you, I think this is for a Java developer. So they're asking Java, JavaScript, etc., etc. Right? So problem solving, and also he should have some kind of a experience in domain. So it can be retail, e-commerce. By doing projects, you will understand the knowledge of the domain also. So this is something for JD of one particular company. So you can see here some of the popular roles. As I told you, I will take you from the basic one, which is software engineer in test, QA engineer, which requires a little less coding. However, the others, DevOps engineer, security engineer, full stack, back end, front end engineer, so all of them require a little extensive coding, and by coding a person can take up this job by learning things. Having said this, Python is used in all these domains, so that is one good thing. So I stress you can start with Python. Now, having said this, what are the companies? So these are something for your reference that I'm sharing it with you. Having said this, in the end, I will tell you few tips which you can implement on everyday basis whenever you start learning, so which can help you to pick up your speed and then apply for the jobs. So companies that are hiring, you can see Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. So these are some of the top companies. Having said this, these are not the only companies that are there. You can see the salaries, the companies that are paying 20 to 30 LPA, 50 to 20 LPA. So there are multiple things, right? Based on your experience level, based on your knowledge of coding, skills, etc. So there are companies who are paying starting from 10, 15 LPA, right? So there are some service-based companies, product-based companies, etc., etc., who are paying starting from 5, 10, 15, and based on the demand, your salary will go, right? So this is something with respect to the companies that are hiring. Now, what exactly you need to do further learning? So this is an important section where I will tell you few things which you have to do from your side so that you can start your journey in software engineering, right? So the first thing that you're supposed to do, just give me 1 second. So for further learning, so what I would suggest you to do, the first thing that you should be able to do is whenever you take up a course or whenever you take up any kind of a learning thing, so you should see your progress. You should be able to measure your progress. So to do that, first thing, create a GitHub account, understand how exactly GitHub works, and then try to practice every day. Now, when I say practice, irrespective of what code that you take, irrespective of what language that you learn, at least you need to dedicate 3 to 4 hours every day, right? So mark this if you want, 3 to 4 hours every day for practice. Irrespective of the best course in the world, if you don't practice from your side, it will not serve the purpose. So at least practice 3 to 4 hours every day, take up a course, and then create a GitHub account and then try to practice. Now, when choosing a course, the main thing that you need to understand is whether the curriculum is up to date, whether it is industry standard or not. So the service provider here, what they're doing is the content that is being given in the course are prepared by industry experts. The relevant content is there. When you go to the internet and search, anyone can write a blog, anyone can write an article. No validation, no authentication will be done. But here what happens is a course content will be designed by professionals. They will also be delivered by professionals, people who know software engineering, people who are working in software engineering field. They will deliver the courses. Hands-on exercises will be there, projects you will do, all of that you will be doing. So that will help you to pick up your learning fast, and also that will help you to go ahead and then enhance your skills faster. And one of the very important thing that you get here is you get a certification which will be a, uh, what can I say, reflection for your achievement, that you know something, you have learned something. So basically the curriculum is industry standard, which is created by professionals and delivered by professionals. The second thing that you can see, as I told you, is you get hands-on exercises, practices, and all that. Last and the most important thing that you will get is you will get a certificate from a premium institute. So that covers the main objective for your journey. And having said this, apart from all this, what you need to do is dedicate 3 to 4 hours every day, practice them, put the code on GitHub, and also try to learn as much as possible. So only when you do this, you will be able to go ahead, learn a programming language, and enter into the software engineering field, or change into the software engineering field if you're working in a different domain, right? So if you have any questions, you please feel free to ask me. Maybe a minute within, you can ask me if you have any questions. I'll be able to take up your questions. In case if any of you get the questions later, what you can do is you can reach out to the learning manager. So learning manager will be able to answer your questions well, and also he'll be able to help you for your learning, right? Any questions from someone? You can type it in the questions window. Right. So, okay. So I don't see any questions right now. So I would wish you all the best. So ensure that you put in the required effort with dedication, and also choose the right knowledge partner for your learning, which gives you a good content, certification, and hands-on learning, and then start your journey in software engineering. So wishing you all the best. Thank you so much. Take care.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. I am Rudrani and I'm the Senior Course Advisor at Intellipaat. So after going through the webinar, if you think that you are interested in going ahead and enrolling for a program that helps you become a software engineering and application developer, a software engineer and an application developer, I would be the one who would be helping you out with the details with the course that Intellipaat provides. So this is the course. This is a course in software engineering and application development, which is being provided in partnership with IIT Guwahati, Electronics and ICT Academy of IIT Guwahati. So there are three things that are going to be coming out of that. Firstly, the entire course curriculum is designed in partnership with IIT Guwahati, keeping it at par with the international standards of what you need to know in software engineering and application development. Secondly, you will be trained by professors from IIT Guwahati as well as industry experts holding 15 plus years of experience in the industry to completely deliver you the content. Why a combination of these instructors are kept is because we are going to be giving an equal exposure to both the practical front and the theoretical front of this domain. So first we have Mr. Bhanu Prasad, who is the chief data scientist at nquantum.ai with 14 plus years of experience in data engineering and analytical projects with top MNCs. He has also mentored over 1,000 plus technologists across 10 countries and has worked in firms like IBM, AT&T, etc. And then we have Amit Kumar with 16 plus years of experience, and he's a data scientist at Microsoft. Their LinkedIns are attached here. I would suggest you to go ahead and cross verify on their entire background as to who would be delivering the content to you. Thirdly, you will be getting an advanced certification from E&ICT, IIT Guwahati, and Intellipaat. This certification is valid for a duration of lifetime. It is valid through all top organizations in India and abroad, and this is going to be recognized as a professional certificate throughout. This is the exact representation of the certification that you would be getting post the completion of the program. Now, if I tell you a little bit about IIT Guwahati, firstly, if you choose to pursue this program, it is going to be a very, very strong accreditation onto your portfolio because IIT Guwahati is one of the most renowned IITs, holding a very good NRIF ranking, keeping it on top of all IITs and premier institutes. It also has a very good international ranking as well, and it is specially known for the content that it provides for software engineering. So whenever you go ahead and accreditate yourself with the E&ICT Academy of IIT Guwahati, this would be a big, feather in your hat, and it will be a very strong accreditation onto your portfolio, which will help you have easy transitions if that is what you're looking at, help you upskill yourself in the right way and get better opportunities in the market. Okay. So now coming to about the program, it is entirely going to be applied learning, meaning the entire delivery of the concepts will be made in such a manner that you would be able to apply it in real time scenario into any business sector that you are working with. Okay. Now it is going to be live sessions, entirely live interactive sessions with the instructor stretched across 9 months. Okay. So basically it is 9 months duration of a program. As I said, you will be learning from industry practitioners as well as mentored by IIT Guwahati faculties. A very, very good practical exposure will be given to you throughout the program through 50 plus industry specific real time projects and case studies that you would be working on. All of which, when you put onto your portfolio, will be equivalent to an experience as a software engineer, an industry experience as a software engineer. You will be having regularly one-on-one with industry mentors, something that you should always look out for, because we are going to be making sure that you get the personal attention that you require as a part of this program. Coming to the most important service, we give you a job assistance, or you can also call it the career services by Intellipaat. So it is a very, very lucrative step that we take in order for our students to have easy transitions or organizational changes, or you can even say, if they are looking out for jobs, if they are freshers, we completely help them out with this particular facility to help them get a job with this particular facility. So it is basically, I'll tell you how it goes. So basically on 70 to 80% completion of the program, we will be assigning you a professional team who expertises in portfolio building. This team would entirely be working on your CV, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and all the other official profiles that you have, as to make it very, very noticeable to the recruiters and your professional community. Also having all the right keywords and points of lines and statements to pass the applicant tracking software that most MNCs have. Once that is done, we will be connecting you with a team of training and placement officers who would be entirely responsible in communicating with you that if you're going ahead with the placements, what are your expectations and requirements out of it. So is that a particular location that you're looking at? Is that a firm? Is that a sector? If you're a working professional, what CTC are you holding? Because with strong accreditations like this, you can easily expect a salary hike in the minimum range of 55 to 60% on the current salaries, and also higher levels of positions in the hierarchy as well. That just makes it easier for us to segregate the organizations for you. Then basically, we would be starting with the recruitment drive. Regarding the recruitments, we have partnerships and collaborations with 500 plus reputed multinational companies and tech giants all around the world and throughout India. And as a part of that, we actively give you placements, all of which are inclusively created for Intellipaat students. So you do not have to go ahead and compete with the entire crowd out there. If I give you a generic example of the kind of companies that come to hire with us, that would be companies like Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, Cisco, Nasdaq, Sony, Ericsson, Dell, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Johnson and Johnson, Adobe. All of these are some of our partnered companies. And what I mean to say by this is that we maintain the quality of placements from our end. Apart from that, as again I'm saying this because it is a very strong accreditation onto your portfolio, of course the MNCs are going to follow, because of which we are going to give you guaranteed of minimum 3 interviews with top multinational companies that hire for software engineers and application developer. Now why we are going ahead and saying guaranteed 3 is because most of our students are able to go ahead and get it in the very first 3 itself, of what they expect out of the placements that we give. But if in case that does not happen, of course the 4th, 5th, 6th and the 7th will also be conducted for you. Apart from that, we will be giving you a job portal. This job portal is known as www.jobs.intellipaat.com. The exclusive access to this you get post the enrollment in the program. Here, throughout the duration of lifetime, you will be able to see all the vacancies as and when they come with our partner companies, and even you can apply from your end by showing Intellipaat certification as a verification, post which direct interviews are scheduled for you. And lastly, for all the interviews that you sit for end to end, we will be helping you out with the training as well through various mock interviews, set of questions, salary negotiation skills, soft skills training, and all of that. All of this together is in one service, which is the Career Services by Intellipaat. Then we give you a 24/7 support. So anytime that you have any doubt in the course, you can directly connect with this team any time of the day or the night that you want, because they are available 24/7 around the clock. And this particular facility extends for a duration of lifetime. Even post the completion of the course, any doubts that you have in this domain, you can directly feel free to connect with them. It will always be a one-on-one doubt resolution session for them. Either you can call them with your doubts, or you can email them the screenshot to your doubts, or you can even conduct a Google meeting or a Zoom meeting with them. You can share your screen and discuss your doubts with them. Now, this particular program is designed for working professionals as well as freshers. By this we mean to say that everything will be taught from scratch. The entire curriculum is laid out in such a manner that we will be taking you from the scratch to the advanced level concepts. We will be focusing on building your basics right, and in a very phased manner, we will be taking you to the advanced level concepts. Coming to the last service, it is going to be a 2-day campus immersion at IIT Guwahati. It is not a compulsion, but this is a service that you can always utilize to the maximum potential, because that is when you will be going to IIT Guwahati. You will be meeting all the students who have enrolled for this program. You will be meeting the instructors. You will also be meeting the alumni of IIT Guwahati. That is for you to expand your professional community and contacts in the industry. Basically, these are some of the articles that show where IIT Guwahati stands. If you see, if these are all the links, if you click on this, it will basically take you to these kind of links, and you can cross verify on the authenticity of this program as well. In this, upon the completion of the program, you are going to be receiving an advanced certification in software engineering and application development by E&ICT IIT Guwahati. Coming to this, who can apply for this program? Anyone with a bachelor's degree is eligible to go ahead and apply for this program. Anyone even in the last year of their bachelor's program are eligible. IT professionals with a bachelor's degree, they are eligible. Freshers willing to pursue advanced training in this domain, absolutely eligible. Anyone aspiring to pursue software engineering and application development is basically open to go ahead and enroll for this program, basically because everything is going to be taught from scratch. What roles would you be able to play? Of course, as software engineers, front-end developers, back-end developers, cloud engineers, data engineers, or full-stack web developers. The skills that you are mastering as a part of this program is, of course, problem solving, advanced programming, data structures, algorithm, product management, web architecture, back-end, full-stack, application development, system design, data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, databases, REST APIs. And the tools that you would be mastering would be MongoDB, Spring Boot, React, Redux, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node.js, Puppet, Kubernetes, Jenkins, Docker, Git, AWS, Python, and all of that. Coming to the curriculum, so this is the entire curriculum that you would be taking up throughout the program. You can click on it to see the submodules as well. We first start with introducing you to Python and Linux operating system, wherein it would be taught from such scratch that we will be helping you set up your environment and what are the essentials when you're going to be working with Python, the basic language constructs, Linux and file management. Then we go to module 2, which is application development process, wherein you would be understanding application development and everything, integration and testing. Then OOPS concepts, object-oriented programming and software engineering. Then data structures and algorithms. So everything, linked lists, graphs, greedy, dynamic programming, sorting, everything is going to be taught here. Database design and querying, advanced data structures, solving top product company interview questions, very, very important. Product management, a capstone project which will be a practical implementation of every concept that you have learned from the start. Then you have to choose one of these specializations. When you reach module 9, after that you get to choose one of these specialization. Either you can be a software engineer with a backend specialization, or a full stack specialization, or a cloud computing and DevOps, data science, or cybersecurity. You have to choose either one of them. You can also go through the projects a little bit. Basically, the projects we will be taking you from beginner level to advanced level as we move up in the hierarchy of the difficulty level. So, these are some ideas just to, give you an idea as to what kind of projects are you going to be working upon. Okay. Now, coming to peer learning, this is an application that you would be getting as a, as being a student of Intellipaat. Here you will be added along with all of your classmates into one group. All the major announcements will be done here. It is going to be a very collaborative learning and a classroom-like experience. Group projects will also be given. A lot of referrals are also shared here by most of our, learning community and everything. So all of these, things are there to also expand your professional community, because we do focus on that as well a lot. Because we have a very vast community of learners throughout the world. So now the classes are only going to be conducted on Saturdays and Sundays from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. in the evening. So 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on a Saturday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on a Sunday. All of these live sessions are going to be recorded and put in your learning management system, the access to which you have for a duration of lifetime. Coming to the admission details, basically, if you're someone who is looking to get yourself admitted in this program, you would have to reach out to me. I will be sharing my details, or you can also go to Intellipaat's website and make an inquiry. So basically, you will have to submit an application telling us a little bit about yourself. This is basically put into review, and shortly after, you will be getting a confirmation from our end, from the admissions panel of IIT Guwahati as well. An interview might also be conducted depending on what profile do you hold, and then we can proceed ahead with the enrollment. Coming to the program fee is priced at 85,044. There is 18% of GST on top of that, which makes the course fee to 1,351. 1,351 is the course fee for this particular program, and the upcoming application deadline would be the 2nd of January. So now I would be open to questions. Meanwhile, I'm going to be putting out my contact details. So if you are someone who wants to go ahead and enroll for this program, my name is Rudrani, and my email ID is rudrani@intellipaat.com, and this is my WhatsApp number where you can connect me to. Now, if anyone has any questions, kindly put them down in the question box, in the chat box, please. We'll wait for another 2 minutes for any questions that are there. Otherwise, we'll be done for the day. So if anyone has any doubts after the webinar ends, you can reach me out on WhatsApp on this number. Kindly do. I will always be available to help you out with your queries. Or you can just write to me on rudrani@intellipaat.com. Okay. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. It was a pleasure having you all here. Thank you. Have a good night.